What's going on YouTube? Crypto Matrix here, coming up with another cryptocurrency stream. And guys, the Bitcoin price shot all the way up to where I predicted it would, all the way at 11,823. Guys, if you caught that in the last video, I was predicting hopefully it would go up to 11,850. Hopefully we get a retest of this $12,000 over the next few days. Guys, if that sounds good to you, be sure to subscribe and like, and I'm going to dive right into the price action. So guys, on the 21st, we had a shot down all the way down to 11,380. Okay, and then a bit of a shoot up. I was talking about right here that we're going to get a little bit of a shoot up and touching towards resistances again. And guys, that's exactly what happened. We had a little bit of a bounce around. The EMA 20 shot up above the EMA 55, and then we shot up towards around 11,800. Okay, guys. So we had a little bit of a bounce off the $11,823 mark, bouncing back down towards the support at around 11,600, and we're still kind of sitting above it around $11,740 mark. But what's going to happen for the short term, guys? Are we going to actually push back up towards 12,000, or are we just going to break down towards 11,400? And is this the start of a trend reversal after a long trend up? Now, if you think about it, we are still putting in higher lows, so higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So I think that we're still in a bullish trend moving up, and that we can see some higher times right around the corner. I don't think that we're, bearish right now, even though we had a shot down from 12,480, all the way down to 11,400. It's $1,000 drop, guys. That's huge. But you got to remember, it pumped up there in this ascending wedge here. So it had two ascending wedges, both subsequently had sell-offs at the end of them. Okay, so sell-off, sell-off. Are we just starting another ascending wedge? So you can't see it all the way quite yet, but are we just starting another wedge here, guys? So will this turn into a wedge in a few days? Will this turn purple, basically? So I think it will, guys. I think we're going to break up back towards $12,000 over the next few days. I think we're going to kind of bounce into this resistance a little bit, but then eventually break through it. And then we'll be sitting up at around $12,000 in the next few days, guys. And that would be a very bullish sign. We want to break back up around 11,800, remain stable above that, hopefully get a 1 or 2% rise, and then remain stable up at around 12,000 or above. For instance, last time we pumped through 12,000, we kind of just broke down out of it. People took their profits, and before you know it, we're back down below 12,000 again. So I think that same kind of thing could happen again. But what we want to see is, for instance, right here, higher high from right back here, and a higher high. Will we see another higher high? That's what we want to see. So hopefully we can get a break up, and it breaks up higher than the previous high, and we don't get a breakdown that breaks down lower than the previous low. Okay, guys, so that's what I think needs to happen in the Bitcoin price. Wanted to go over a little bit on Oxt. So guys, the last time I made a video, I was talking about how you could get in on some price action right now. It has been very consolidating for the last day or two. Okay, so for the last several days, since we had price action here, dipping down all the way down to 0.46 and all the way up to these are big trades, guys. These are big trades you could have made in the last several days. But in the last couple days, there's just been not really much price action. The closest thing you could have gotten to a trade would have been at 6 this morning, at 0.486, and then you wouldn't even have been able to flip it for much money. So it looks like some change is going on in OXT, and we're going to see a breakout pretty soon, one way or the other. I think it will be to the downside, though, guys. I think we'll end up back down in this channel, testing some of these supports, and then it's not the same as this trend right here, just bouncing up and down. Hopefully we get some more volatility back in the market and a little bit more movement, so you can actually make some trades here, and it's not just continuing a downtrend from when it peaked up, for instance. So the reason I don't think it's just a straight downtrend, because it did break out to the right here. We started to remain stable a little bit in the 4s and 5s, and then after that started to go to the right there. So OXT might have some opportunity for a breakout coming pretty soon. Which way is it going to go? I think it is going to go down. So be prepared for that, guys. If you have bags in there, you might be looking to get out around the 0.51, 52 area. So just keep mindful, watch over it. There could be some price fluctuation over the next few days for sure. And if this breaks down much further, we could see lower prices touching the 0.46 range, or in between the 0.48 range for sure. So Link also, guys, I want to talk about Link. Link having a bit of a pump up from down at $14, $13. We pumped all the way down to, or not pumped, but crashed all the way down to $12.9. The next had a wick all the way down to $13.11 basically. And then the Bollinger Bands started to widen but moving upwards. The EMA 20 is pushing above the EMA 55 right here. We crossed over. So we had the cross right there. That was the peak. The peak at around $16 again. Now remember, that was the old support. So if there was a support line right here, it would be like right around here. And in essence, we're kind of just bouncing off it over and over again. So I think that Link kind of has to build up a little bit of strength if we want to see back up towards $20 again. It's got to regain that momentum that it had recently. For instance, when it was pumping up right through here, we had a lot of strength. The EMA 20 barely ever touching the EMA 55, only at the peaks of the sell-offs here. So if we want to see more action like that, we've got to see some higher lows coming into play and continuously moving up the trend up to $16 at least, and hopefully pushing up towards 17. That's what we need to see. Now I think Link is doing a little bit of a breakdown right now, so we could see a little bit of a breakdown towards the $14 mark over the next day or two if we don't see some change in trend. It's because you got to think that we're putting in a lower low, lower low. Are we going to see another lower low, or are we going to turn something around and change it into something like this, going up like that? Okay, so that could be something that actually happens, but we don't want to see it break down further. Okay, that could also very much well happen. If nothing changes, it looks like the trend is moving down. As you can see, the EMA 20 is pushing back towards the EMA 55. The Bollinger Band just tightened with a bit of a widening as it's breaking down. So we could see more breakdown over the next few days. It's just that simple, guys. So if you're holding Link and you're looking for fast coin, guys, if you're in at 15.1 or 15, or 14.9, get out, because it's gonna crash down a little bit more. Unless you're comfortable sitting in the red and waiting for the time up, that's fine too. A lot of people don't like to just sit in the red, and let their coin be in the red. They don't like that. So I try to avoid the red as much as I can for you guys. I don't like sitting in the red at all. I've only made one bad trade this year where I've actually taken a loss. So in essence, I'm very much so in the profit and doing really well. And guys, one coin that I haven't talked about yet that I've been really wanting to talk about that I used to trade a lot like last year was BAT. Okay guys, BAT. And you guys should know they're attached with the Brave browser. There's a lot of good price action going on here. Now guys, in the last few weeks, there's been pump ups, pumps down, pump ups, pumps down, just like big pumps and sell-offs, big pumps and sell-offs over and over again. And we're in the middle of a sell-off right now down at 0.39. Are we going to get another pump right back up and another higher high? The reason I think that it's a little bit out of steam temporarily is because we did put in a lower high right here since the 21st when we pumped all the way up to 44 or 0.44 cents. And then had a sell-off all the way down to 0.33 cents. Okay, and then we've been kind of just bouncing around, moving up and down. But basically, if we get a bounce at around 0.39 or right around now, we could see this continuing an uptrend and putting in a higher high for the short term or over even the next couple days. Just look at the way it's moving day in and day out here. One day up, one day down, one day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. So tomorrow could theoretically be up all the way up to 0.44 if it continued its trend, guys. So is this a trade you're looking to make today, guys? Let me know in the comments. Are you thinking this is too risky, or should you have gotten in long ago? I remember buying this coin at 11 cents, selling off at 16. It pumped all the way up to 20. I was kicking my own ass, and now I don't own any BAT other than what I've earned from the Brave browser, and kind of wishing I had a little bit more BAT right now. Maybe I'm going to get into the market if it looks really good, and if things look like it's going to turn around right here. Definitely could be a little bit of a reversal here, and hopefully getting a pump up. So that's what I think is going on with BAT, guys. And Zcash, guys, still pumping around $80, just kind of teetering around. It's not sure where it wants to go. We're still in that channel, so there's going to be a lot of bouncing around between $98 and $72, that's for sure. But again, we bounced off this support at around $74 and pumped up, and then are looking like we're going to kind of touch back towards the support as the EMA 20 is dipping down towards the EMA 55 after the cross, which was a big pump up. And then the Bollinger Bands are slightly tightening up, which could show a downwards and sideways motion to the right. So that's what I think is going to go on over the next few days, and we'll hopefully get a bounce off that and get a little bit of a reversal going, because if you look since the top all the way up at $102, let's just say to where we are now, that's 17 days, we're down 28% since the peak. So hopefully we can get a little bit of a bounce, even if it bounces, say, down to like 75% and we're down at 30%, that would be a good time for a reversal, and then hopefully we could see some price start to trend up in the Zcash price, and that would be very good. And guys, that's all I really have time for today. I did want to mention, don't forget about that CME futures gap, okay, down at 9,600, guys. Don't be fooled just how easy it is to fall down to these prices. You got to imagine if we have a flash crash, that would only be a 15% drop from where we are, guys, and that kind of stuff happens all the time. So just be mindful of that when you're doing your trading, guys. And even if, say, you buy in at 11,700, okay, and then we get that flash crash and we're down at 9.6, don't sell out at 9.6. Hold, hold strong. Bitcoin price will go back up there, even if it were to crash all the way down to 3,000 again. I'm a firm believer that the higher Bitcoin prices will come eventually. And with most institutional money, the lower the prices, the more chances they have of really pumping the price up. So when the price goes down, it's just good opportunities to accumulate. Don't take too big of losses. The only times I really take a loss in general is on some kind of altcoin where I'm not sure if it's ever going to pump back in with years. But Bitcoin every year is higher than the previous high. Or for instance, every single year, it's also higher than the previous low. So when we get pump ups, if you look at just the charts, guys, Bitcoin is considerably higher every single year, thousands at a time. And we've had pumps of 10x, 20x from $1,000 to $20,000. Can we see just even another 10x? Will it take 2.5 years? Will it take 4 years? I think it's going to be one of them. And before you know it, the Bitcoin price is going to be a lot higher, and you're going to see these Bitcoin prices that you're going to be just awed by and wishing you got in at these times at lower prices, something near $10,000 or lower. And guys, that's just the future. Bitcoin is here to stay. It's got so much strength. It's got so much potential with it as well. There's just so much growth that can come from it. You got to think, when its market capitalization, say, matches something like gold, how much higher is the Bitcoin price going to be? We could easily see $100,000. And then I think, looking back at prices like this, everyone's just going to be wishing they bought more. And I'm very curious as to how, when the price pumps up that high, how long will it last up there? Will it remain stable up there? Or are we just going to get more, pump and dumps of, 50 to 80%? I do think that'll happen. I just think the pump will happen in late 2021, early 2022. There's been some talk, though. I read some talk. I can't remember exactly where I read it from, but I remember reading that there's potential of it being even later, like 2023, 2024, and that would make a lot of people very upset. But in general, it would be a very good thing. And guys, that's all I have time for today. Be sure to subscribe and like. I am Crypto Matrix. I will catch you guys later.